Hello, wonderful beings. Hello. Welcome to this live. Am I audible? Is my audio and video okay? Can someone confirm? Hello, Brian. I'm happy to see you here again. And thank you for the confirmation. Thank you so much. I see, I think Bella joining in from the start. Um, Brian says we can hear you. Thank you, Brian, for that confirmation. And hello, Bella. Hola, Bella says, hola, everyone. Hello, Bella. Yeah, I was happy to see you, here from the start. Hmm. It's rare, but yeah, I think today, maybe at the start, or maybe the meditation was meant to, come your way since you joined early. So welcome. And hello, Caitlin. Hi, I'm so happy to see you each time, whenever I start the live, I'm expecting you here. In a way, I just, yeah, I feel grateful that you decide to join these lives. So thank you for coming. Okay, so I think all of you guys already know me and you know the format of this live, so there is no need of repeating it. So let's begin with the meditation itself. I thought of doing a meditation today for Mother Earth. So I truly believe that, when we meditate and when we sit in a group and when we, hold these beautiful intentions, hold these positive intentions, and our thoughts, that intentions have the frequency, they do impact our world, the energetics of it on some level. So today I really wanted, I was feeling so called to do, a meditation in relation to our Mother Earth because, you know, we are always supported by nature in so many wonderful ways. And I think it's time. Sometimes we also should take out some time to give that back. So, are you guys ready for that meditation? Are you guys ready to meditate today? I do see some new people joining in. Welcome, everyone who has just joined. And we are just going to start with a meditation before we move on to the wheel of wisdom and tap into the wisdom so that you can receive the guidance you are here to receive today. Bella says, Bella says thumbs up. And Caitlin says ready. World meditation and magic. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, guys. So let's begin the meditation first. Begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can either stand, sit, or lie down, whatever your body needs right now. As you begin to settle into this posture, allow your eyes to close. And if that is not comfortable for you, then you can also just lower your gaze, looking downwards at the floor 2 or 3 feet in front of you. This is just to limit visual distraction. As your attention is turned inward, bring your awareness to your breath. Noticing the rhythm of your inhale and exhale. There is no need to change it. All we are here to do is to just notice it. Noticing the air flowing into the body and out of the body. Continuing to observe your breath in this manner. If you feel comfortable, then place one or both of your hands on your heart, feeling the heartbeat as you continue to breathe in this manner. Noticing how each inhale brings in fresh oxygen that goes to your heart and ensures your survival. And noticing how, with each exhale, the toxins and the carbon dioxide leaves your body and reaches the plants, which ensures their survival. So, taking in the fresh oxygen from the plants and releasing carbon dioxide to them, being aware of this interconnectedness in this moment, which ensures both your survival. Allowing your heart to be touched by this give and take, by this oneness, as you set this intention for this practice to send healing, compassion, and restoration to all the flora and fauna that may have been harmed by human hands, whether through pollution or neglect or even exploitation. letting this intention guide your practice today. As you hold this intention in your warm, loving, and infinite heart space, imagine the pain of Mother Earth, the one that nurtures us and supports us, allowing your heart to be touched by this ongoing pain that Mother Earth is in. Bringing to mind all the ways that we or the human species has harmed Mother Earth knowingly or unknowingly. As you allow yourself to witness this pain, take few deep breaths to create space to hold this pain within you. You have the capability and the space and the love available within you to hold this pain, to allow this pain, to witness it. With each breath, creating more and more space within you to see and hold this pain, the pain of Mother Earth. If your hands are still on your heart, then you can allow them to rest in your lap and continue to breathe deeply. With each inhale, gently and bravely breathe in the suffering of the trees that have been cut down, the animals who have lost their homes, the water bodies that have been polluted, and the soil that have been poisoned. Breathing in this pain and suffering, knowing that you are not absorbing the pain, to be weighed down by it, but you are transforming it. You are taking in that pain and transforming it by holding it in the warmth of your heart. Love can transform everything. Love is the antidote. So, continuing to breathe in the pain of Mother Earth, of all the flora and the fauna, and with each exhale, imagine your breath as a soft, glowing light which is cool, healing, and nourishing. So each time you exhale, breathe out peace for the forest, safety to the animals, purity to the waters, and fertility to the soil. Send your breath like a balm, a healing balm, wrapping the earth's wounds in love and care. So, continuing to breathe in this manner, inhaling the hurt and exhaling the healing. Transforming that hurt into healing, just like you transform the oxygen into carbon dioxide that helps the plants to survive. Inhaling the destruction and exhaling restoration and renewal. Knowing that you are infinite, allow your awareness to expand beyond the immediate harm. Include all the ecosystems affected by climate change, all the species under threat, all forests cleared, all the oceans suffering, breathing in their pain with a steady, loving heart, and breathe out your love, your wish for their renewal. Breathing in their suffering and breathing out peace, breathing in the loss and breathing out love, as you continue to breathe in this manner. Imagine Mother Earth responding. Imagine the nature responding to this practice of yours. Visualize the plants growing again, the plants in those forests that had been cut down are now slowly beginning to grow again. The animals are finding shelter and reuniting with their loved ones. And the Mother Earth is sighing in relief. Allow this imagery to touch your heart. Feel the warmth in your heart, the part of you that deeply cares, that is willing to show up for healing in small ways. You may not be able to change everything alone, but you can carry this compassion into your daily choices. You can carry this intention in the way you live. Let this practice and your intention be your offering, a small seed of healing for the earth. As this practice come to an end, take a deep breath in and exhale with gratitude. Gratitude for earth, for your breath, and for the ability to love beyond yourself. Whenever you are ready, you can begin to come back by wiggling your toes and your fingers, connecting back with your body, and gently opening your eyes, noticing the environment around you. Welcome back. If you feel like you can stretch your body or move your body or hydrate yourself, whatever you need. Bella says that was lovely. Thank you, Bella. I really got emotional in between when I was guiding the meditation. It can sometimes be difficult. It is so easy to ignore that pain, but to witness it in this manner and to hold it in ourselves, it can really help us get in touch with that interconnectedness that we forget. Caitlin says, wow, Anisha. Yeah, thank you, Caitlin, for sharing your experience in those three amazing alphabets. Yeah, wow, it is amazing. The love that we receive from this earth and the things that we do to Mother Earth. I will drink some water and then I will read all those comments. And I see some new people joining. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining in. We are just starting this live, so there is a lot that is going to happen. Thank you for all the hearts. I guess we all have kind of built a wall and we don't see, what is happening around us. We don't let it touch ourselves because so much is outside of our control. But I truly believe and hope that this meditation that we all did together, the intention that we hold, and the peace and the love that we gave in this meditation really touched the nature in even the minute way, the energy, the nature received our energy. I truly hope that. Okay. Okay, I got really emotional. Bella says, I always would get upset when I see trees cut down for apartments and things. So I'm so grateful that you included the earth in the meditation. Yeah. Um, I guess Bella, that's why you joined early. You were meant to be a part of this beautiful space that we held together for the earth, for all the beautiful trees out there that give so much to all of us. So thank you for joining us in this. I see some new people joined. Let's see. Betty says blessings. Hello, Betty. Welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Thank you for being here, for joining in. I think it is your first time, Betty. Are you joining us for the first time? Srinidhi, welcome back, Srinidhi. I'm happy to see you here again. Srinidhi says, hi, everyone. You are incredible, Anisha. And so are we. Today we all did something that is similar to a practice in Buddhism known as Tongling meditation. And it includes taking in the suffering and, exhaling or, sending out the love, the peace, and everything. And sometimes we feel like we are so small to hold the suffering. We can't even hold our own suffering. How can we ever think of holding the suffering of the earth, this huge, immense earth, and we can. I think these kind of meditation help us realize that we are not just this body, we are so much more, and our awareness can hold so much more than you can even imagine. It can hold so much. We just need to give it a chance. We just need to have that trust and practice that sometimes to able to experience the infinite that we are. And thank you for all the hearts. I so appreciate it, really. Okay, let's move back to the comments. Leslie says, so perfect for Florida. Just finally getting past Hurricane Ian 2+ years ago. Yeah, Leslie, all this destruction that also results, it is kind of a cycle that we destroy nature, which was trying to care for us, which was preventing any floods or any, all of these different things. And when we get rid of that nature in the name of development, the nature shows us the other side of it. It is a bad cycle. Bella says, people don't realize, but that is a part of us. That is a part of us. I love that. I don't know, this was a mistake or what, but yeah, you know, we feel that it is apart from us, but it is a part of us. So thank you, Bella, for writing that. You know, something spoke through you to all of us. And that's what I believe the space is for. It is not for me to tell you something that you don't know, or, it is not that wisdom is only going to come through the lines that I'm going to read just in a few moments. But it comes through all of us. This space is just, you know, this is a space where we're just open to receive that wisdom in whatever form or from whatever source it comes. So that's why I so appreciate every single person who is here, whether they are, writing the comments, whether they are just pressing the hearts, just letting that love out, that energy out. So I so appreciate all of you. Okay, let me read the comment of Bella. Sometimes when we get depressed and upset and don't know why, I learned that it can be because a tree could have been cut down. They're all connected. That touched something deep in me, Bella. Yeah, we are all connected in this manner. I am just out of words today and I'm just filled with emotions. I guess the emotional brain has overpowered my logical one. But I'm glad. I'm glad to let those emotions run wild today. Bella says, so glad I was able to join early today, Anisha. So am I, really, Bella. Brian says, last month, Brisbane had an unseasonal cyclone, unusually south of, of the Sequatort, flooding my city. I'm sending so much healing to anyone, who has or had been affected by, those natural disasters, whether it is flooding, whether it is, Hurricane Ian that Leslie mentioned, or any other kind of, disaster. Sending out love and healing to anyone that has been affected by it. And not only the humans, but also maybe the animals that were affected by it. And they had no place, they had no shelter and nothing. Recently, I think why I felt called to do this meditation today was because in India recently, big, like 300-acre or a larger portion, I don't know whether you understand acres or not, but a very large portion of the forest, was about to be cut down to build some buildings in Hyderabad in India, in a location in India. And 50 acres already got cut down. But then thanks to the protest and everything, as far as I know, it is getting saved. The construction is not going on anymore. Like it has stopped because of like all the protest and everything, the court ordered for it to be stopped. And I was really happy to hear that. But I was also feeling sad for all the loss that happened. Srinidhi says, yes, that is in Hyderabad. Yeah. And that just reminded me, it just, I felt so much pain. And when these things happen, sometimes some of these things are not in our direct control. So I think the next best possible thing for us to do is, if nothing is our control in relation to that, is to just, I guess the smallest step for me to take was to hold the space to let out that energy of healing and love into the universe, to give to to send out that healing energy for anyone that was harmed, whether it was flora or the fauna. Okay, there are so many comments. I will just read them before we continue. Let's see. Jocelyn says that is beautiful. Yeah, the interconnectedness is so beautiful. Thank you, Jocelyn, for joining in. Um, let's see. Srinidhi says, yeah, everyone feeling emotional, so deep in insights. Exactly, exactly. I am just feeling connected to you all right now. I'm so grateful for all of your presence. My eyes are still teary and I can cry at any moment. Brian says, I meant to say, okay, south of the equator, my hand slipped. That's okay, that's okay. Yeah. Hmm. Caitlin says that's a huge amount of land. Yeah, it is. It is. It is such a huge amount of land. It was supporting so many different species. Brian says, I often saw the damage done to the Adivasi people by deforestation. Exactly, so much in the name of development. And yet we all cannot find peace and fulfillment. And we go back to nature for that, for those few moments of peace. And yet we don't understand the value of sustainable development. Bella says, thank goodness, so glad to know that it's still humanitarians. Yeah, I was so happy to hear that. Really, I didn't hoped that it would happen, but it was nice that, it stopped. It was more than nice. It was amazing. It was relieving. Srinidhi says, I hear the sounds of peacocks, deers, and many animals. Yeah, they were just crying out for help. Leslie says we are connected. Yeah, we are. Okay. Maybe, since we are all feeling that we are all connected with that emotion right now, we have witnessed, through the meditation, that suffering. Then I invite you to set an intention, a very small intention today. I'm not going to ask you to make any bigger changes because that is not, it is not going to be, sustainable for you to just make a bigger change in your life. But what I ask of you all today is to set an intention to do just one small thing to help nature in some way. it can be the very smallest thing. It can be even like, closing the lights in the house, in the rooms where you are not present, just to save that energy, the resources, from wherever your electricity is coming. There is different plans for different regions. But yeah, it is always nice to just conserve that. It can be just maybe um, if you're going to brush, just closing the tap while you're brushing so that the water do not get wasted. It can be just, very, very tiny, tiny things. I do not ask you to do anything big. I do not ask you to go to, something or protest or anything, which you are amazing. But yeah, I'm just asking you to do a very small step. Just even set an intention just for today that I'm going to do something for nature. Very smallest thing, the easiest and the smallest thing that you can do today. Just set that intention. Let's take that energy and bring that to action. Leslie says, today I'm planting caladium bulbs and prepping the yard for other stuff. It's been a long time. Wow, yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love tending to the plants. And I feel always so happy to go to my terrace and I when I water them, I just love that, to just imagine that, to see them flourish. I love that. So thank you for sharing that, Leslie. And I hope that those bulbs just blooms and flourish and bring smile to you every time you see them. Bella says, good idea. Yeah, just do the smallest thing. I was about to say that, Bella. Thank you for mentioning. Yeah, Bella says, I always feed the outside animals. I need to think of something else today. Yeah. Yeah, maybe think of something else, and another step to add to this, already what you're doing for the environment. Maybe just, if you have a terrace or balcony, and if you have birds around in your region, then just keeping water for them because now it is getting, I think, a little bit hot. So they would really like that. So yeah, just keeping water for them. It is not easy for them to get access to things like that as it is for us, to get the food and water whenever they want. Bella says that's so cool, Leslie. Yeah. Hmm. Bella got her action, Yes, yes, water for the birds. Amazing, beautiful. Yeah. So on that note, let's tap into some more wisdom and, let's move on to the fun part now. Moving on from the emotional part. And I'm so glad to see so many people, staying and listening to this. It just it just makes me so happy that to see the care within you for the environment, for the nature. Okay, tears coming in again. I need to shift the topic now. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to just cry. These are just tears of joy right now to see just I'm so happy to be with all of you. Really. I am. Okay, just a second. Bella says good tears. I totally understand. Yeah, I am so happy. You all are so wonderful. Leslie says, happy the protest of saving the forest had such a profound impact on you that you shared this wonderful meditation. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I just, sometimes we feel hopeless that nothing is going to change, whether it is environment or whether it is about humanity. And when we see things happening, when we see a small win, then it just feels so amazing. Okay, moving on to the next part. So, guys, anyone, thank you for the hearts. So, anyone who joined us during all of the meditation and all of the emotional part, now what we're going to do is that we usually start with a meditation, these lives, to just settle ourselves, to open ourselves, to tune into the higher frequency, to tune into love and everything, so that, we can receive that um, wisdom, we can receive that higher wisdom. So, the next thing that we usually do in these lives is we have a wheel of wisdom. On that wheel of wisdom, I have names of, some randomly chosen books. So, the books that I've read in the past 8 years in my own transformation journey. So, we spin the wheel. That wheel chooses a book for us to read from today. And I either rely on my own intuition and I um, open that book. I have actually made the notes. I have made notes as I was reading these books of the powerful insights or the transformative practices from these books. So I open those notes, I close my eyes, I set an intention for all of us, and with my eyes closed, tuned into my intuition, I scroll through the pages until I feel like I need to stop here. This is the section that everyone needs to hear. This is the guidance that everyone needs, you know, to receive, whoever is present here listening to me. So that's how we go usually. So, are you guys ready to spin the wheel? Type ready if you are. I would love some engagement. Okay, Bella says ready. Caitlin says yes. Terry says ready, just tuned in. Welcome, Terry. Welcome. I'm glad that this was happening and you decided to tune in. I'm sure that there must be a message, this guidance. You tuned in on the right time. So there must be something for you here. Jocelyn says ready. Wonderful, Jocelyn. Thank you for participating. Leslie says, let's boogie. Kim says, love and magic and sparkles. Okay. Thank you, Kim, for participating. Terry says, thank you. Always welcome. Artem says, good morning. I just got in. Good morning, Artem. And we are just starting the guidance part, the reading part, in a manner. So I guess it was the right time for you that you tuned in right now. Okay, let's see what message wants to come through today. So let's spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that came for us today, the book that we are going to read from, the book that we are going to receive some wisdom from today is Radical Acceptance by Tara Brach. A beautiful book. And it is interesting that the book that came in the previous life was self-acceptance. So a lot on acceptance. Hmm. Let's see. So, instead of mine, let's tune into your intuition instead. Okay, so let's do this. Cal says, love that book. Yeah, so do I. Thank you so much, Cal, for, sharing your opinion of that book. Yeah, I'm really excited what is going to come through from this book today. It is amazing. I love Tara Brach whenever she is speaking. It's just pure wisdom coming out of her. Brian says, back again. I lost signal. That's okay, Brian. We're just going to read. We're just going to, do the reading. Jocelyn says, I'm currently listening to that book on Spotify. Wonderful. Wow, that is magical, that came through. Maybe there is a message that you need to, hear again to really soak the meaning in, or maybe something that is going to be to be applied to your life, to your current circumstances that you are in. Leslie says, my sister lives near her. Amazing. Wow. That is so beautiful. Nessie says, DC area, she is awesome. Yeah, I just am so mesmerized by her. Atom says, thank you for being amazing. Wow. I guess you are amazing as well because, hmm, what's said that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, right? So, same applies to you. Okay, let's see. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to tune into your all of you, yours intuition. So so we are going to, take the top three. Okay. So the top three people, like the first three people who are going to comment, and whatever, and whatever like number you guys choose, whatever numbers are chosen. So I'm in a moment I'm going to ask you to choose a number between, you know, um, choose a number basically. And we're going to take the top three numbers in the comments because we might not have the time, that's why. And whatever number we choose, it doesn't mean that, that is for them, for that particular person. It means that that message wanted to come through for every single one of you that is present here because the universe work in magical ways. So, Artem says, hi everyone, can someone write the name of the book? Yeah, sure. Okay, let me just type it in. And by the way, guys, actually have a little community on Insight Timer. So what I do is that after each live, I post like the readings that I read from the book as well as the name of each book in that, so that you don't you don't miss out on anything. So let me write the name of the book first. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Jocelyn. Terry says, I agree with you, Artem. Anisha is truly special and amazing. I feel that too about her. Thank you so much, Terry, Artem, and every single one of you. For being here, for listening to me. I'm blessed to have to be in a community of all of you, all of these amazing, wonderful beings. And I know and I believe that, when you see the good in others, you have that in you. So, Terry, you are truly special and amazing. You are. You really are. I'm just a reflection of your inner world. Okay, Bella says, thank you. I'm going to look it up after the live. Yeah, definitely. So if you relate to anything that, I read in these books, and if you feel like, yeah, I resonate with how the author, speaks in these books, then yeah, I really invite you to check out these books. I love reading these books and I would definitely recommend them. That's why I have included them in this wheel. Artem says, Terry, thank you for the support. You're also amazing to like everyone here. Yeah, exactly. We all are amazing. We all are beautiful, wonderful, amazing, and special. Atom says, I will do the same thing. Wonderful, beautiful. Terry says, oh, thank you both, Atom and Anisha. Okay, I love the love here. Yeah, Leslie says this is a fantastic community. Yeah, it is. And you guys make that so, we all make this community the way it is. So thank you for being here and thank you for being the way you are in this community. Thank you so much. Okay, let's do the reading now. We have spent 1 hour just chit-chatting, which I also love, but also let's do some reading now. So so I invite you to choose a number between 12 and 250. So choose a number between 12 and 250. Any number that comes up for you, just any number that pops in your mind. So choose a number. Okay, we have so many numbers. Okay, let's just stop here. So we have okay, we got five. Okay, guys. Okay, okay. Thank you so much for such an active participation. I appreciate that. Let's see how many we can take. Okay, let's see that, based on the time. And again, I want to repeat that, any number that came up is not specific to that person. It is about all of us. This is a space where we are open to receive the wisdom, and that wisdom can come through anyone, the author, me, any person who is present here. So trust that. So we have a lot of number. Now I will act upon my intuition and choose few numbers. Let's see. Terry says sending loads of love to all of us here. Thank you, Terry, for all of the love. I feel the warmth. Um, hmm. Okay, so before we choose a number, I want to mention two things. Um, Firstly, as I said, that I have a little community here. So, like, all of this is getting recorded. So, if you guys missed any of it, if you guys missed the meditation and you just tuned in now, or maybe you just tuned in the emotional part of this live and you want to revisit the meditation, then you can do so. The replays are actually available on my profile. So, when you go to my profile in the About section, there's a link tree there. So in that you will see Wheel of Wisdom replays. And this is our 38th session. So I have numbered all of those and actually created a playlist so that, even when I am not going live and you want to receive some wisdom, you want to tap into the guidance, then you can do so by choosing a number between 1 to, 38. And whatever number comes through, you can just watch that live, knowing that, trusting that that is the message for you. So that is one thing. But it takes like 1 hour for this to get uploaded because it is a long recording. So what I do is that immediately after this live, within 5 minutes or so, what I do is that whatever I read and from the book that I read, so I mention all of it in my little community on Insight Timer, that is Wonderful Beings. Let me type that as well here. So you can like search it on Insight Timer, or you can go to my profile and scroll all the way down, and you will see a group of wonderful beings, and you can join it if you feel like joining my little community. And after each live, I update all of the material there. So there is that, and one more thing, um, one more gift to all of the women present here. Um, So recently I started offering a gift to any women that attend my lives, and even the ones who don't, but like you maybe you are not a woman but you know of women. who would be interested in in having a powerful conversation with me. So if you would like to have like a free 1 hour coaching session with me, if you would like that experience, then you can message me on Insight Timer. I am currently offering like a free 1 hour coaching session to anyone who would, who would like some support, some guidance, or maybe some insight. Because one thing that I can promise is that every single woman that I have had a conversation with, I have had a session with, has left with at least one powerful insight from the session. So, if you would like that, then I would love to offer you that. I really find that fulfilling, to hold space and to share whatever I can in this manner with all the beautiful women out there. So, if you are interested, you can get in touch with me. You can message me, Anisha, I'm interested in that session, and we can schedule it. Bella says me, yeah, Bella, I'm waiting for your message. So whenever you can message me. Caitlin says, such a good time, friends. If you're interested, please reach out to Anisha. Thank you so much for the recommendation, Caitlin. I really feel so grateful that you had a nice experience in the session and you were recommending it to others. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And by the way, guys, Caitlin is like another teacher on Insight Timer, who is amazing. I usually like whenever I can, I attend her lives. So if you are interested in like crocheting or just chit chatting with Caitlin, you can join her lives. Leslie says highly recommend. Thank you so much, Leslie, for the recommendation. I so appreciate it. I am so grateful that, you had that experience. You had a nice experience with me. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, moving back to the numbers. So let's choose 131 since it's, you know, Caitlin's mom's birthday. So let's go with that number, and that is the first number also. So Jocelyn said 131. Okay, so it is a pretty long practice, but on page number 131, we just have a shorter version of it. So the author says, at any moment throughout the day, if you find yourself driven by wanting, you can ask this question to yourself: what does my heart really long for? This will help you reconnect to the purity of spiritual yearning by pausing and asking yourself at any moment, what really matters? What do I most care about? You awaken your naturally caring heart. Artem says, I want the book to talk about to be kind to myself and others. Okay, you would like to receive some guidance on that. I think you got some in that manner. So when the author says, that in any moment asking ourselves that what do our heart really long for, what really matters to me. So I usually apply a similar but a different version of it in my daily life. So the practice that I have in my life is asking myself, what do I need in this moment? So supposedly, like I am like, feeling unpleasant or something like that, and I open my phone to scroll to just numb out that pain. It is a habit. It has become a habit for all of us. So when I do that, sometimes I remember to do this practice. And at that moment, I ask myself that what is it that I truly need? What do my heart longs for? What really matters? As the author says. So the different version of that I apply is what do I need in this moment? And then the answer comes that I need to feel loved. And I was going to use distraction to numb it out, but that need of mine was not going to get met. I was just going to avoid the pain, but that need was not going to get met when I was going to, scroll social media or something. Even if maybe a reel or a short might have come that might have made me feel loved, but it might have been like really momentarily. So so I realized that this action is not going to meet that need of mine. And then I just to ask myself that what is going to meet this need of mine. And it can be as simple as just going and hugging my mom, or maybe hugging a pillow, just giving myself that love. So as Artem, you mentioned that you would like this book to talk about to be kind to yourself and others. So I guess that is the question that you can ask yourself, that you can go with whatever words most resonate with you. You can ask yourself that what do my heart really long for, as the author mentioned, or you can go with my version that, what do I need in this moment? And similarly for others also, you can ask yourself, just guess, what do you think that they need in this moment? And and you can guess, or you can even ask them directly, like, what would you like from me? What do you need right now? And just bringing their attention on that. Artem says, wow, I do need to call my mom and tell her I love you. Ah, um, Artem says, but she hears it all the time, lols. But you never know when she need to hear that most. Maybe this time when you said that, she really needed to hear that. So why not, why hold that back? Let's see. Jocelyn says, Caitlin, wow, what are the chances? Yeah, magic happens here, Jocelyn. The space is like that, and we all make that space like that, the space like that. Um, let's see Caitlin's comment. Caitlin says, whoa, yes, values and what is actually important to your higher self. I'm thinking of my sister's wedding and me having a meltdown and wanting a drink and having a conversation with my cousin about needing a drink. And he said his professor told him, usually when we think we need something, we need to figure out the opposite because that's what we really need. Dig deeper and ask, what else can I do here? Exactly, exactly. Thank you, Caitlin, for bringing that, into attention. So it's like we have a need, and there are different ways to meet that need. And sometimes there are different ways to even suppress all of that, at once, which we know do not help, especially in long term. So we have these different ways to fulfill our need. And we need to check in with ourselves that which particular way aligns with who I am or who I want to be, which particular way aligns with my values. And then, and it might sound like so much, but in that moment, it is very easy when we think of it like in the smallest actions. it is easy if we start to apply it. It is difficult to remember to do it, but the process in itself is easy, to just ask ourselves, what do I need in this moment? And when we hear that answer, check in that was the action that I'm going to do going to fulfill that need? And if not, or if that action not aligns with who you want to be, with your values, with you know, your values, I think is the right term, then, choose a different way to meet that need because there are all these different ways out there. We just haven't put in the effort in terms of like our brain power to figure that out. By the way, I actually have like a track on Insight Timer that mentions this whole process, and it is especially related to like social media addiction or like binge watching and stuff, so addiction in that manner, because in today's society that has become like our go-to in relation to coping with any distress. So if you are interested, I will like show you the track in case you would like to go through this process and actually take action on this. So I'm just going to uh, type the name of it. Give me a second. Yeah. So I have this track known as social media addiction, mindless scrolling, and binge watching. So you can find this track if you're interested. And yeah, just try it out if you want to. Let's move on to the comments. Oh, you would like to take a screenshot of it? Yeah, you can go to my profile, Anisha Maheshwari, and you can like search for all these tracks um in one place, or I've created like a playlist of different things so you can check them out if you're interested. I hope that if anyone else also wanted a screenshot, you got it. And by the way, in fact, I will like share link of it in the community that I mentioned, Wonderful Beings. So you can easily like just tap on it and go to that track. Let's see the comments. Leslie says, call her often. My mother is no longer in this realm, and I sure do miss telling her I love her. Yeah. After reading this, I am surely going to tell my mom today after this live that I love her so much. Thank you, Leslie, for sharing that. And I do wish that you can still feel her love and know that she knows that you love her. Since we all are connected, that spiritual realm is also connected with us. Mila says, wow, right, Caitlin. Artem says, Jocelyn, you are a radiating heart. Beautiful. Leslie says, here is a small one, but it was impactful. I was in traffic yesterday and feeling tense and realized I just needed to do box breathing very slowly. The outcome was wonderful. Yeah, exactly. These small practices, I love the small practices, because they are the ones that work. And what I mean by work effectively is that we are more likely to do small practices and hence they are going to have an impact on us. So thank you so much, Leslie, for sharing that, practical example of how you apply that into your life. Caitlin also says, I do deep breathing at supermarkets, especially when I don't get to go in the morning when I like and it's busy. Yeah, taking that opportunity to be in the line and bringing just letting our nervous system know that you are safe, or just giving some love and some fresh oxygen to your body. Artem says, yes, I'm struggling with that. Empower us. Bella got the screenshot. Leslie says, we all need to stop and breathe deliberately many times a day. Exactly. Let's take a deep breath now. Breathing in and out. One more in and out. Final one in and out. Wonderful. You all did great. Yeah, I like to take opportunities. So thank you, Leslie, for mentioning that and giving us that opportunity to take a breath. Bella says, I agree, Leslie. I'm glad I've started to incorporate breathing exercises in my life. It really does help a great deal. Exactly. Our systems are always in so much stress, these days. So it is always nice to give our system, our body, a reminder once in a while that everything is okay. You can relax now. Because right now, also, maybe not right now, you just did a breathing, but still, if you would notice, some muscles in your body might still be tensed, and they are tensed as a result of being in stress in some manner. Caitlin says, whoa. So I was at the dentist yesterday, and the other person in the waiting room was not a patient waiter. Lol. They were so full of energy and anticipation. It was wild. I reflected on how I have always been okay at waiting, partially because of conditioning as a little, but anyways, now that I have my mindfulness practice, waiting has been even easier usually, lol. Yeah, usually, sometimes we just get impatient and that's okay. We just need to do it more and more, not 100 times, not perfect. And yeah, I think, and not only like the waiting becomes easier, but now like it becomes an opportunity to practice a skill, the skill of mindfulness. So congratulations, Caitlin, on achieving this, on not achieving, but incorporating this into your life. Artem says, Caitlin, when you wrote that, I started to notice my breathing now. Thank you. Yeah. Sometimes, we just hold on to our breaths and we don't even realize that. Okay. We have done our whole life and we have done just one reading. Let's, oh, by the way, I'm happy. Okay. So I was just taking a look to do the other reading. And right now I just received an email from Insight Timer that one of the track that I submitted as a free track on Insight Timer just got approved for, getting published. So, so like we have done over 55 meditations in these lives, in these Wheel of Wisdom lives. And I have kind of edited some of them. And now I will start publishing them, both the audio version on Insight Timer and the other version, the video version also. So the first track is coming on 10th April. So guys, if you I would love for you to just, go through that and leave a review as to how you find it. And just, yeah, listen to that. I'm happy about it, Now all of the meditations are going to come in, one after another. Caitlin says, woohoo, new track. Bella says, yay, congratulations, Anisha, new track. Oh, hi, Dana. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to see you here. Um, uh, I am actually confused with your name. So can you help me with that? Is it Diana or is it Dana? I remember, I think Caitlin says Dana like that. So what is the phonetics of your name? And yeah, thank you for the congratulations. Thank you for the wishes. Jocelyn says Artem, much love. Um, okay, okay. It is Dean. Okay, Dean Dean Okay, I'm going to remember that. Dean And welcome here. I'm so happy to see you, really. Thank you for joining in. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I didn't miss out on any comment. So, guys, as I mentioned, now these tracks are going to come on, from 10th. I thought that I would publish them on Thursdays and Sunday, just random days. But if you prefer any other day of the week, then I would schedule them on that day, when you are more likely to catch on to them. So if you have any such preference, you can mention them in the comment. And yeah, I would take that into consideration. Okay, we were going to do another reading. Let me go through the another number, just choose another number. And by the way, yeah, if you guys want to like get notified about these tracks, you can follow me because then you would receive a notification. And I think the notification on Insight Timer has changed because they keep on making these updates and everything. So now whenever any teacher publishes a track or I think a live event or something, then you receive the notifications here. Um, so like I think in most of the people you might have received that update. So now the notification have moved to here. So you will go to this teacher section and then you will go to my teachers. So when you click on it, you will see all the notifications here. So if you don't know, Bella says, yes, I noticed the new update. Yeah. Yeah, so the notifications are now like a little harder to find. So I thought I would mention it here if in case, anyone was wondering. So let's see another number. So let's go with now. I would like to go with 188. I just feel called to that number. Mm, okay, Stephanie, you chose the number. Okay, wonderful. So maybe, yeah, we already have a list of few numbers, but I so appreciate you participating. I love that. So yeah, I'm just randomly choosing few numbers because they are a lot and we are already over the time. But I would let you know. Yeah. Yeah, Diana says that Dina. Yeah. I have difficulty pronouncing, but yeah, I really love your name. So yeah, so 188 is close to 18. Yeah, it is. And by the way, anyone who have just joined, I want to let you know that any number that we are going to go through is not like a specific reading to them. It's just that this is a space and we are open to receive the wisdom that wants to come through any source. And right now, the source are you guys. So, any reading, any lines that come through are for all of us. And just choosing the number just makes it more fun and also allows you to tune into your intuition. So that's just that way. I missed few comments. I will read them and then I would go to page number 188. So again, thank you, Stephanie, for choosing it. I love that. Bella says it used to be a world over there, I think. Yeah, yeah, it used to be a world, like a world symbol instead of the kind of a book symbol on Inside Timer there. Bella, you are very observant and have a good memory. Kim says, thank you. Yes, confusing. Yeah, it is, sometimes. But yeah, Insight Timer is always like trying to really enhance the experience for the users as well as the teachers. So the update can sometimes some people like it, some people don't. So it's mixed. Let's see. Mm. Diana says, I thought that was cool. Hmm. Yeah, I think it also organized things in a way. Like, I think the notification from teachers come in that, but the notifications from the group come in the original place where the notification used to come. So, let's see. Stephanie says, sorry, I jumped the gun a bit. That's okay, Stephanie. There is no need to apologize. I really appreciate you, um, contributing to this space. I love that. Diana says, I thought that lined up interesting. 18 and 188 Steph. Steph was in the zone. Exactly. Exactly. I so trust all of you guys' intuition, and that's why I invite that. Um, because I feel like I love tuning into, like, I love holding the space so that you guys can tune into your intuition, because what happens after that is magic, and then you are also able to build some trust in your own self and your own intuition. So yeah, love that. Bella says she surely was Diana, 18188 exactly. So now let's do the reading. So this on this page there is a part of a paragraph. So the author says, simply acknowledging this pain helped me to relax and remember to send a message to my own heart. The message that the author sent to her heart was, I care about the suffering. I care about the suffering. So, relating kindly to my anger enabled me to open and pay attention to what her child was feeling. Now, as I beheld this person before me, I mentally asked, what do you really need? So, since this was a part of the paragraph, I'm not sure if you got it. So, the author was feeling angry in relation, like in terms of whatever happened with her and her child. And when she noticed this anger within her, she asked, she turned inwards and talked kindly to herself and recognized the suffering, which is very important part because we usually suppress it. So turning inwards and asking us and saying to ourselves that I care about the suffering, letting her body know that, letting that part of her that was in suffering know that I care about you, I care about the suffering. And once she paid attention and, talked kindly to herself, gave her that compassion, now she was open to see that what did the other person need. So she asked that person, what do you really need? Artem says, I feel emotional. I have felt it. Yeah. Atom says frozen atom breath. It is interesting, it is even magical that the same question that I mentioned in the previous reading came up right now. But along with it, a reminder came. So when I think Artem mentioned that Artem would like to be kind to to self as well as others, and we discovered that I shared my version of a question of a reflection that I ask myself to do so is that what do I really need? And then if it involves other person, then asking what do you really need? Asking that person itself that what is it that you need from me or that you need in this moment? And now a reminder came in this next reading that when we are interacting in this manner and there is pain and suffering within us, then first we need to tend to that suffering. First, we need to remind ourselves, first, we need to pay attention to that part within us and say, I care about the suffering. Saying to that part that I care about you and I see your pain and I love you, and whatever else that you want to convey to that, just tending to the pain that is within you before you try to meet someone else's need, because you need to feel your needs need to be met first in order for you to have all the resources and all the love available to give to another person. So I love that there was this another element that was added in that through this reading. So our time is over, but I really don't want to go. I am so enjoying this space. So maybe let's do one more reading. As I said, top three. So let's just choose one more number from the numbers that are already listed and yeah, go with that one. I am actually now curious about number 18. So I'm thinking let's go with that number because we have talked a lot about 18. So yeah, let's go with that. Jocelyn says it's almost like the same feeling as when we are triggered by another's actions. It connects. Usually, it's a projection of the other person's inner reality. We are all mirrors reflecting something back at each other, right? So, when it's your child or someone you love, it's important to feel the suffering so that you can realize how they are feeling or what they need. Yeah, I think as I was reading that, what came up for me, Jocelyn, was that, that reality that, compassion is birth when we connect to suffering, when we can feel the suffering, then we can feel compassion for others who might be feeling that way or who might be in some other form of suffering. So, compassion arises from being in touch with suffering, with our own suffering. And then that compassion, when in action, can help us, relieve the suffering of others or even our own selves. So, thank you, Jocelyn, for sharing that with us. Jocelyn says both our suffering and theirs, yes, even if it's unpleasant and triggering for you. Exactly. It is, it is unpleasant, and that's why we run from it. But we forget that even if when we suppress it, a part of us carries that suffering within ourselves. That part of us carries it, holds on to it, and lives with it. So if we are not overwhelmed by it, then it is very helpful to give that part to acknowledge that suffering instead of suppressing it, and to give that part of us that is holding on to that suffering some love and the permission to let go. Diana says, love that, Jocelyn. Jocelyn says, oh, tracks, Diana. Thanks, Diana. Okay, yeah, I was wondering what is tracks. Okay, let's do page number 18. I believe since it came up, there might be an important message for all of us there. So let's not ignore it. Okay, I might have to. Okay, I will read that whole paragraph. V says, it's a way I measure my healing. Less triggered, more healing. Hmm. Okay, so if like the thing that usually used to trigger you now triggers you less, then you have healed, right? Or is it something else? Okay, okay, right. Yeah, and it is a long process. And it's not that we are trying to get rid of whatever that, you know, that thing or event used to trigger within us. It is not that. It's kind of like we have processed that in a way. We have learned to hold space for it or maybe process it in some other manner. And now it doesn't trigger us so much. It doesn't trigger all those emotional, emotions or unpleasantness, because that has transformed into something else for us. Jocelyn says, please forgive my typos, everyone. Lol, I have a very severe vision impairment. That's okay, Jocelyn. It's okay. I think people here understand what you're trying to say. They feel connected in that manner. So yeah, and I really appreciate you sharing, you interacting so much. I love that. Thank you, Jocelyn, for bringing this energy here. I appreciate your presence and your interactions. V says, I cannot control the triggers. Holding space better now. Exactly. We can never control the triggers fully. We can never fully control them. And I think holding space is a much effective practice compared to trying to control everything so that this doesn't happen, so that the pain do not get triggered. So otherwise, all our attention would be focused on what we don't want rather than, focusing our attention and energy of on what truly fulfills our heart. So our attention would get distracted from that. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, V. And I am amazed and I'm so happy that, you have come this far in your journey. Let's see. Okay, let me read what came up on page number 18 now. So the author says the trance of unworthiness doesn't always show up as overt feelings of shame and deficiency. When I told a good friend that I was writing about unworthiness and how pervasive it is, She took issue. My main challenge isn't shame, it's pride, she insisted. This woman, a successful writer and teacher, told me how easily she gets caught up in feeling superior to others. She finds many people mentally slow and boring. Because so many people admire her, she often rides surges of feeling special and important. I am embarrassed to admit it, she said. And maybe this is where shame fits in. But I like having people look up to me. That's when I feel good about myself. My friend is playing out the flip side of the trance. She went on to acknowledge that during dry periods, times when she isn't feeling productive or useful or admires, she does slip into feeling unworthy. Rather than simply recognizing her talents and enjoying her strengths, she needs the reassurance of feeling special or superior. Convinced that we are not good enough, we can never relax. We stay on guard, monitoring ourselves for shortcomings. When we inevitably find them, we feel even more insecure and undeserving. We have to try we have to try even harder. The irony of all of this whether is where do we think we are going anyway? One meditation student told me that he felt as if he were steamrolling through his days, driven by the feeling that he needed to do more. In a wishful tone, he added, I am skimming over life and racing to the finish line. That is death. Leslie says, sheesh. Yeah, I guess, usually when we think of shame or unworthiness, we think of the the lower phases, but it was amazing how the author included those phases when that friend of hers needed external things, to boost her self-esteem in a manner, to feel special, to feel worthy. And I feel like in this way, we give away everything. We give the power to others to lift us or to bury us down. And all of this stems from not feeling good enough. And we keep on trying to feel good enough. And her friend's way of feeling good enough is being productive and gaining, those compliments and everything from others. But they are temporary and they are outside of our control. So she is giving away the power, and, that worthiness or that feeling of good enoughness is dependent on something else. And we just always try to grab onto it and grab onto it, and it keep on slipping away. And in the meantime, our life slips away. That is what came up for me as I was reading that. And especially that last line was very impactful. Let me just read that line and then I will go to your comments. So that student mentioned, I am skimming over life and racing to the finish line. That is death. Okay, let's see the comments. Rochelle says, loving this. What are you reading from? Rochelle, I am reading from the book Radical Acceptance by Tara Brach. And yeah, that is the book that came up for us today. And by the way, guys, I'm going to post the name of the book as well as the readings that we have done in the in the little community of mine that is Wonderful Beings. The name of that group is Wonderful Beings, and it is on Insight Timer. So feel free to join it if you would like to, read them again and just take it in, because different people take things or learn things in different manners. So sometimes people like visual things or just, hearing it maybe in your own voice. Diana says it was good. Yeah, wasn't it? I love I love all the things that Tara Brach says. She's just so amazing. Rochelle says new here. I'm so happy, Rochelle, that you joined in, that this was playing on your screen and you decided to tune in, because I believe that you were meant to be here and you were meant to receive this, whatever, you got to hear today in this live. Rochelle says, thank you, V. Okay, let's see. I missed some comments. Stephanie says, monitoring ourselves for shortcomings. I have been there. I have done that. Yeah, always trying to, our mind is always trying to fix the problems and always trying to find the problems, that what am I lacking now, what I'm doing wrong, what is going on, what is going wrong in my life, and stuff like that. And yeah, it is natural for our mind to do that, because it is meant for survival. It is not meant for helping us to thrive. It is meant for ensuring that we survive, and the way it does that is focusing on the negative. So it makes sense. Um, but it but in this world, in this modern world, we don't need so much of that hypervigilance to ensure our survival. So we need to, work on this pattern of our brain to focus on the negative compared to the positive, what the psychologists call negativity bias. Diana says, yes, never relaxing. Exactly. How exhausting is this? Really, how exhausting is this? I really wish that if you're related to that, you really find some moments of peace as your brain is trying to do all of this. You just find some moments of peace. V says, hi, Rochelle. Welcome. Glad you're here. It's a great space. Oh, okay. You guys know each other. Wonderful. Thank you so much, V, for, recommending this space to Rochelle. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you're enjoying your time here. Um, Artem says, can you explain in your words, please? Um, I think it was earlier message I did. Would you like me to elaborate, Artem, as to what is coming up for me from these? V says, yikes, skimming. Racing is equals to death. Yeah, exactly. We are skimming through life, isn't it? Item says the book 18. Yeah, yeah, okay, so you mean what we have read on this page number 18 of this book, Radical Acceptance, right? Yeah, so item what is coming up for me from this paragraph is that it just summarizes our tendency of when we don't feel good enough, and it just captures one way in which we try to feel good enough, which is um, which is external validation in the case of, the author's friend. So she feels good enough about herself that she's doing good enough, or she's a good enough writer, or she's a good enough whatever. Uh, so she is good enough when other people tell her so. So similarly, we have different ways in which we all have developed different ways in which we try to feel good enough, whether it is trying to doing more, whether it is trying to, um, people please, or whether it is trying to fix everything wrong with us. So we have developed these different patterns in which we try to counter this belief, we try to counter this belief that I'm not good enough, and we try to feel good enough. And in doing all of that, we miss the beauty of life, and it's like we are just skimming through the life because we miss the other things that really matters to us, are what we really value, in trying to just feel that good enough. um so we miss on that life, we miss on the magic of life and the beauty of life, and we miss on the things that really matters to us, that brings us joy, that fulfills our heart. And it is a race, and the finish line is the death. So we need to just enjoy ourselves more. We just need to focus on the, as we said, I'm developing a positivity bias. So we can just um try to notice the things that are going right with us right now, the things that you love about yourself. Not always focusing on the things that you lack, or how you are lacking behind, or how you're not good enough, but instead focusing is also, just having a 360-degree perspective. So I'm not saying that just ignore the negativity or ignore the lacks. Of course you can work upon them, but also notice the positive, notice the magic, notice what is going right in your life, notice what people loves about you, what you love about yourself, what brings you joy, and do that. So that is something that came up for me. I hope that I was able to articulate that, and you understood what I got from page number 18. Bella says, I agree. It's so easy to focus on the negative. I don't know why. But I agree. Let's focus on the best positive. Exactly. I love your spirit. Let's focus on the positive. We are just this one decision away from including this in our lives, including incorporating this in our lives. We just need to make the decision. We just need to set that intention. I love how simply Bella said that. Let's focus on the positive. Yeah, it's just this simple. It is simple. All we need is to remind ourselves again and again. Hmm. And Bella says it's so easy to focus on the negative. I don't know why. Well, there is a whole thing behind it, which I don't, which I, because it is 2 hours, which I would not like to go in it. But to summarize, it helps us survive. And that is why we go into the negative. Our brain has been designed in that manner. Because earlier our ancestors needed to focus on the negative in order to survive. So that's why our brain easily focuses on the negative rather than the positive. Let's see. Stephanie says this reading brought to mind the song Vienna by Billy Joel. I haven't heard that. I will listen to that after this live. Thank you for sharing that. Bella says, yep, yep. You are so right, Anisha. Wow. I'm glad that, you resonated, Bella. Brian says, Shukriya, bahut dhanyawad. I love that you try to, include all that Hindi in this. So guys, what Brian said is, um, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have done the readings from 3 page number. We have done a beautiful meditation for Mother Earth and sending all the healing and love to her. And Bella says this live was so needed today. Thank you so much, Bella. I love that, you tuned into this live from the start today, and I'm so glad. I really loved the space today. I so enjoyed it, and I could feel the love from all of you guys. So thank you so much for being here. And if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed this live, if you enjoyed the space, and if you would like to support me, to continue these lives, to do these lives day after day, and to even offer like the free sessions to the women. So if you would like to support me in continuing to offer these free offerings, to give this, then you can do so by pressing the donate icon somewhere here. So it doesn't need to be a big donation, whatever you can. I'm really grateful to receive any form of abundance from you guys. So that is one way to support me. And let's see, V says, cool, Brian. Yeah, it is, learning languages. I really find them so tough. I really find it so tough to learn a new language. I just want to refine my English more, and that's it for now. But yeah, it is so amazing, Brian, for you to learn a new language. V says, cool, Brian. Bella says that was really cool, Brian. Yeah, it was. Leslie says, peace and love to all here and everywhere. Thank you, Leslie, for sharing, sending these beautiful wishes out there. If anyone joined new here, I want to repeat a few things. Firstly, I want to say that if you are a woman, um, then I have a gift for you. I am currently offering a free 1 hour coaching session, so a powerful conversation with me. So, if you would like to experience a coaching session with me, then you can message me on Insight Timer and you can say that Anisha, I'm interested in that free offering of yours. And I would absolutely love to have that session with you to offer you whatever you need. Yeah, so please reach out to me if you are interested, and we can schedule the session whenever both of our times and schedules align. Secondly, this is getting recorded. The video is getting recorded. So if you would like to access the replay of this live as well as, or maybe the replays of the previous lives of Wheel of Wisdom series, then you can do so by, let me show it to you guys. Yeah, so you can go to my profile, go to this about section and scroll down, and you will see a link tree there. So in the link tree, you can find Wheel of Wisdom replays. So you will see the um, like a heading or something, and in that you can see the whole playlist of all the live sessions. Thank you so much, V. Thank you so much for the donation. I am so grateful for it, really. Thank you so much for sharing this abundance with me, and I really wish from my heart and from my being that this doubles and quadruples for you and it just blossoms in all the different areas of your life. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate your support. Um, Rochelle says blessings to all. I'm glad, Rochelle, that you tuned in today. And I'm hoping to see you all back in another live, and maybe some of you, if you would like, then you can join my little community on Inside Timer. The name of that community or that group is a Wonderful Beings. So you can either search for Wonderful Beings or you can go to my profile and yeah, join that group. So after each live and after this live, within 5 minutes or so, I'm going to upload the readings as well as the name of the book in that. Oh, Diana says, I enjoyed your live. Wonderful. Thank you. I followed you. Thank you so much, Diana. I so appreciate you being here. I know you are a lovely soul from the lives that I have been in, with Caitlin. And yeah, I appreciate your presence. And thank you for the follow. So, guys, if another way to support me is that you can follow me and listen to my content. And yeah, let me know how you find it. So, yeah, I always, love to listen the experience of you and, your experience when you go through the tracks. And many more tracks are coming in. As I mentioned in the live that as I opened my phone, I received a notification from Insight Timer that that the track from my first Wheel of Wisdom live has been approved and it is releasing on 10th April. So if you want to get notified, you can follow me, of course. Um, Diana says, I behaved in Caitlin's life. I don't behave. Diana, you can be yourself in this space as well. I would love for you to be yourself. So yeah, I am looking forward to meet all the versions of you in my future lives. V says, yes, Diana, you rock. Yeah, you do. Caitlin and Bella is laughing. Jocelyn says, thank you everyone and thank you for your time and energy. I really enjoyed your live and loved the idea of the wheel and book reading. Yeah, I also got the idea. It's not mine, just something dropped that into my mind and now I so enjoy hosting this space for you all. And by the way, my next live is day after tomorrow. So I'm currently doing these on alternate days. So I really, really want to see all of you in that live as well, if you can. I would love to see the same faces again. Stephanie says, thank you for this live. It was exactly what I needed today. That means a lot to me, Stephanie. Really. I'm glad to hear that. Leslie says, yeah, don't hold, don't hold back. Exactly. Exactly. I love to see, Leslie, you are interacting so much more than before. And I love that you are opening up and you are trusting the space. Diana says, Bella, love your bubble pick. Yeah, I do too. I can see like very little version of it, but I am always like able to recognize, oh hey, this is Bella. Bella just joined. So yeah, I'm really glad, Bella, that you joined today from the start. Let's see. Leslie says my only social media for sure. Yeah, and a lovely one. I love Inside Timer is like there's nothing else like this space. I love it. Artem says, thank you. I knew about you being amazing, Anisha. Thank you so much. I take in that compliment with an open heart. Thank you so very much. I have reflected back your compliments before in this live. So yeah, this time I wanted to take it in. Thank you so much. I so appreciate it and I'm feeling wonderful. Bella says, thanks guys. Haha. Diana says, it's sassy. I can just see that pose taking out somebody if needed. Yeah, see, Diana, be yourself. It is always fun. Bella says, yes, Leslie, I use Insight Timer more than any other social media. I barely log onto Instagram or any other media. Exactly, I love to replace that. Usually, it is said that when you're trying to change a bad habit of yours, replace it. It is easier that way. So, yeah, so whenever I feel like scrolling on Instagram or YouTube or something like that, then I open the Insight Timer and I see, okay, who is going live right now because live are so fun and there's a different energy there. So, not always we don't feel like meditating, but it's always nice to see different like vibrancy coming in the lives of Insight Timer, isn't it? Artem says, Leslie, I like that. I will do that. Uh, I miss. Okay, yeah, okay. Art, Leslie, I like that. I will do that for my life as well. It's empowering. Yeah, isn't it? See, when you share your reality, it just impact others, isn't it? That's why I love, sharing my vulnerabilities, my tears and everything, even the suffering, because it helps others know that they are not alone. Bella says, Diana, I have done that. Diana says, I could see it. Bella says, I am. Hmm. Leslie says it has to do with my generation. Jocelyn says book recommendations Atomic Habits by James Clear. It is so amazing. It is magical. Jocelyn, I'm currently reading that. I have been wanting to read that for a long time. It has been on my reading list. I'm currently reading that. I have read 3 chapters of it today itself. I just started it today. I love it. Thank you. I- It's just such an amazing space. I love this space. So thank you for the recommendation. Ah, let's see. Mm, Diana says, I am in a book club reading it now too. Wow. Wow. Again, I said, magic, magic, guys. Um, Diana says, and my grandmother used, okay, I missed a comment. Artem says, I recommend everyone I meet about this app and how it's helping my circle. Wow. Thank you so much, Artem, for doing so, for spreading this wonderful app around because, yeah, this app holds space for so many of us, so many of like minded people like us. So, thank you for doing that. And I would recommend all of you to do that. And I do that too. Diana says, and my grandmother used a purse to save herself, and it had metal edges, and she used it in the 50s. So we kept it and passed it on. Wow, when she died. Wow. Continuing the legacy in that manner, Diana. Thank you for reminding of that power in the feminine in the space, Diana. Thank you for doing that. Let's see, let's see. Jocelyn says that's amazing. When you said the whole thing about replacing your habits, I just thought of that book. It's helped me so in so many ways. Exactly. Yeah, it is just aligning so much with what I believe, especially that chapter in terms of I'm thinking, should we delve into that or not? We are so much over the time. But yeah, just focusing on who you want to be and then aligning everything with that. Bella says, I have an old soul, so I watch things from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Yeah, I always love like watching the old stuff. I don't know so much about like the English stuff and stuff like that, the Hollywood and all that. But yeah, in terms of what goes in my country, I love listening to the old songs. Feel, they just take me to a different world. Jocelyn says, and I'm reading Radical Acceptance. Wow, Jocelyn, so much in alignment. Wow, I love that, love that. Hmm. Diana says, I met with TBI survivor and we read together. I love these reading circles and how we can share how that same material impacts us in a different manner. Leslie says, time for the yard now. Again, peace to all, be well and take care. Bye, Leslie. I hope that that garden just flourishes and just brings you so much happiness and brings anyone else also who look at that garden so much happiness. Diana says, Bella, I love those too. Bella says, I'm so grateful to Insight Timer. So am I. Yes, the significance and the power of Grandma's purse. I love that you shared her purse, Diana. Exactly. Thank you so much for being yourself and for sharing all of that. It just kept that interaction going. I love your energy, Diana. And Yeah, I think this energy kind of aligns with Caitlin's energy, and that's why I think I see both of you in the same space so many times. Wow. Jocelyn says bye, Leslie. Diana says yes, a man attacked her and she took him out. We keep the story and posts going. Yeah, passing that legacy on, that empowerment and everything on. Okay, guys, now it's time to really end this live. So thank you so very much for being here, for listening to me, for your presence, for your interaction and the beautiful wisdom. I love it all. I really love it all. Thank you so much. And I will see you day after tomorrow again, or maybe in my community again. Bye bye. Take care. Namaste. Bye, Diana. Bye, V. Bye, Jocelyn. Bye, everyone.